Hello, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to 321 No Kiddin'. Bobby the Awesome here. I will be fully transparent because that's how I roll. But I'm traveling again starting today, which you probably know I'm traveling because I probably told you. But I'm doing a little pre-recording ahead of time because it was so challenging to keep up on the road last time I did it because I am going on another driving adventure. Although you may get some recordings from the road. I just want to make sure we're covered with our daily readings. So this is February 4th, and our daily reading is, no, I'm lying. Our daily calendar reading from Mom's inspirational calendar that she got me. In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. Do you believe that? I believe that. I believe that immensely. We only regret the chances we didn't take. That's kind of the definition of my life this last year. I've always said, I think, as long as I can remember anyway, that if I die tomorrow, I'll have no regrets. And I still feel that way. I mean, hopefully I make it to Australia before I die. That's definitely a priority. But in general, I live my life the way I want to live my life. And it's one of my favorite things about me, to be honest. Part of why I'm not here with you on the actual 4th is because I'm living my life with no regrets. I regretted not being in Kansas City last year when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. It sucked to not be able to be with my friends for that. So what can I do? I couldn't change it then, but I can change it now. So I'm going to Kansas City to be with my friends for Super Bowl. And it won't be the same as breaking the 50-year streak, but I think we could celebrate 2 years in a row just the same. So that's kind of my view on our calendar reading. Now let's see what the daily body, mind, and spirit book says for us today. Oh my goodness, I can never pronounce these names. Publius Saris. It sounds very Greek to me. In every enterprise, consider where you would come out. In every enterprise, consider where you would come out. Let's see what that means according to the reading. Oh, it's about relapse. My microphone just shifted. Bear with me here. Technical difficulties this morning. All right. Relapse starts long before we pick up the first drink, the drug, eat the donut, or place the first bet. First, we may skip a meeting or two. We might be too busy or forgetful to call our sponsor. Then one thing leads to another, like drops in a pail until we reach the overflow point. In recovery, we know how dangerous those little things can be, so we need to think our choices through to the end. Missing a meeting may be a symptom of impending relapse. If you're feeling negative towards our sponsor, it's vital that we talk to him or her. Being critical of others, especially people in the program, is dangerous. One of the first signs of relapse, in fact, is refusing to go to meetings because we're angry at one member. OMG. I'll talk about that in a second. Thinking our feelings and thoughts through to the end works something like this. If I don't go to this meeting, it'll be easier to skip the next and the next. Then, if I avoid my sponsor, I can convince myself I'm doing okay, even though I'm not. Then, if I reject the program, I'll have no support, no reminders about recovery. And without those support systems, I'll probably relapse. To maintain solid recovery, we need to see the parts of our behavior as a whole. Now we can make healthy choices. Today, help me see all the parts of the puzzle as they really are. Help me see through my own denial. Okay, I'm going to share. This is crazy, that part where I went, oh my God. So I had that run-in with someone from group not too long ago. And there's one of my friends in group. It was her fault. I was actually at the meeting because she asked me to go. And afterwards, she said, one of her messages to me was, she's glad she limits her group appearances because it seems that there's always a lot of drama. So basically, what the reading said is, right, like we skipped the meetings because of members. And this was my response to her. I'm not a believer personally on limiting group because of others. It would sabotage my own recovery. Instead, as I learned in rehab, it reminds me life will bring me people who are a challenge to deal with. It's a good practice for the real world. And then I got into the semantics of the situation. But it's true. That's why this hit me like crazy. It's real easy to be like, oh, I don't want to be at the meeting with so-and-so, or I don't want to. It's a blame game, right? It's projecting, where it's kind of an opportunity. It's an opportunity to work on our own character defects. So what do I mean? If you go to a group and there's a difficult person, so like there's at least one in the group that I'm talking about that I'm struggling with, and on the morning I'm recording this, I woke up to a message from him that he texted me at 3:00 in the morning, which, oh, by the way, is unacceptable to me. That's like crossing a boundary when I sleep. Luckily, my messages are off. I think that's really ignorant to message someone in the middle of the night like that. But anyway, I can't stop going to meetings because he's there. So what do I practice? I can practice working on my impatience, right? Instead of being frustrated and impatient about his, the things that he says, or putting up with the things he says, I get to practice how I receive things. I get to practice like letting things roll off my back and deciding whether or not that conversation or that experience or whatever is worth hanging on to. I get to practice forgiveness and making sure that I'm not resenting him. I get to practice being someone who isn't judgmental, right? Because I don't want to judge him. And that's really not what it's about. It's not actually about, I don't give a shit if you relapse. And by that, I mean, it's not a thing to judge you about. I am a little pissed off that due to his inaction that he insulted me for how I choose to live my life. But I've even forgiven that. But it really is an opportunity when there's challenging people. And here's how I know this is true. Because I did it the way that the book talked about stop going to meetings one by one, resenting things. There was things when I was in Kansas City, there was a core group of us that seemed to do everything. We were always chairing the meeting. We were always getting the cake. We were always taking on the additional responsibility. And I used that as my crutch on my way out the door to a relapse. I was like, well, I don't think it's fair that we have to do all this. How recovery behavior is that? It's not about keeping score of who does what. It's not about getting the thank you when you do something. Either you're going to serve and you're going to serve from the heart and do it with no expectation and because you want to and it's the right thing to do. Otherwise, don't bother serving. And that's what I was kind of doing was I was putting expectations and I don't know, like parameters. Like it wasn't an unconditional giving. I wanted balance. I wanted more people to help carry the weight. So as that was definitely, I remember using that as my thing. Well, it's not fair. So-and-so, blah, blah, blah. That was not recovery behavior. And sure enough, I ended up relapsing for over 15 months, 16 months. And again, I have no regrets because that gave me the experience to be able to share with you and relate to the reading this morning, but it also put me on the path to so many other things. I'm grateful for my relapse. It was massive and destructive and like life-shattering, and everything has changed since coming out of treatment for it. So I can't complain in that way. It's like that reading we talked about, the the obstacles are stepping stones. That's what my relapse was. It was a total stepping stone to get me to this point. But the fact remains that as soon as you stop, like, I'm nervous. We're coming up on, we only have about a month more of daily shows. And then I'm going to go back to just a weekly interviews or a weekly Friday show here and there with just me. And that makes me nervous because having is my own expectation, not anybody else's, but by being on here every single day or, making the effort to have a recording every single day, at the very least, I am doing something for my recovery at least 10 minutes a day. If I did nothing else, if I didn't go to a meeting, if I didn't read anything else, if I didn't meditate, if I didn't look in the mirror for opportunity areas to fix, I would have at least worked on my recovery for 10 minutes a day. Do I think I'm going to work on my recovery beyond stopping the daily shows? Sure. But there's still a part of me going, like I'm going to miss it selfishly and in my growth pattern. But I need to focus my energy a little different. So, and we've covered a year. So I know there's not anybody out there that's probably listened to all 500 and something shows. So I can't feel too guilty about that. Anyway, that's a deep point there, guys. So check in with yourselves. And this is why I always go back to self-awareness. Why are you missing the meeting? Ask yourself in that moment, why are you missing the meeting? Why are you not doing the thing? Is it really because of some legitimate reason, or is it because relapse is impending? I don't wish relapse on anyone. And I don't tell you that mine was that I'm so grateful for it because I want everybody to go relapse. I tell you I'm grateful for it because it's just what put me on my path. I think everybody's going to have their own timing, but I definitely am not advocating that you go out and try it just to sort through your timing. So that's my spiel for today. I hope you guys are doing well, and yeah, I will make sure you have a show a day while I'm away. There we go, I rhyme. All right, beautiful people, talk soon.
You get